Hello and welcome to Arsenal Above All. Oh, damn, that was a hard watch, wasn't it? It was like watching the Port Vale game all over again. Even the same scoreline, the same way the game panned out, everything. Wow. Anyway, I've got Steve. They called me Stepney here with me tonight to have a rapid review. It's going to be rapid after that. It's going to be a rapid review of the first Champions League home game this season, where we've made it 2 wins out of 2. Some teams struggled to make it 2 out of 2, obviously after a certain result last night. But obviously, that person got a nice trip to Turkey, and let's see what they come back like. Might have new hair and new teeth and everything. Anyway, let's get into the chat and let's get on. Hello, welcome to the show. How you doing, Steve? How you feeling after that?
Yeah, better now. It started off well, didn't it? But it took the star boy to step in and do what he does best.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Quite, short notice. Turning up like on Sunday morning marshes when you haven't got a player, you need to get a ringer on someone early. Coming last minute. So yeah, appreciate you coming on, man, to chat about that 2-0 win against Olympiacos. We normally have a bit of a sticky time with them. I've looked at some of the results over the last few meetings where we've met them, and they've beaten us a couple of times. I think we've won 4 times and they've won 4 as well. So it's not one of those people are talking 3-0, 4-0. I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking maybe 2-0, 2-1 maybe. But yeah, we got through maximum points so far. What were your thoughts, man, on the first bit of news? Obviously, always is the lineup. Went big with a rotation. Max Dowman isn't on the team sheet there. Arsenal admin dropped a bit of a clanger, but he was on there, and we were all hoping that maybe he'll get the record tonight. And he was there warming up, but because of circumstances and I think the game state, he was at risk. But what was your thoughts on the lineup, mate? And what did you think generally? Do you think it was a good thing looking back in hindsight?
Yeah, I had no real complaints with the lineup. It's still a strong squad. I mean, apart from Zubimendi and Gyökeres, that's pretty much a team that started last season. So yeah, I thought it was good that we could rotate. I did think it might be a little bit of a worry to begin with, because you just never know. You just should always play your strongest squad, especially in these early stages when we've seen teams slip up and drop points, and it can happen whether you're at home or not. But we've seen teams drop points, and we just needed to make sure. But it shows that Arteta is trusting the squad that he's got. So he was happy to rotate. So I was happy to see it. And like I said, apart from those 2 players, Zubimendi and Gyökeres, that team started last season. So it's not bad. It's good depth.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flex, wasn't it? A great depth. Really strong team. You think of some of the players that didn't come on and feature tonight. Obviously, Norgard didn't play, did he? Neither did, obviously, as I mentioned, Dowman. Again, neither did Ethan. He didn't get any minutes. And then I think they had a shot in the second half where they had, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, Madueke, and Capier as well. They were all there. So yeah, massive squad depth. But I kind of thought at the beginning, the rotation, I think six players is quite a bit. But obviously, the first half, the first 15, 20 minutes, we looked really good. As I said at the top, it was basically a carbon copy of the game against Port Vale. We looked really slick, moving the ball about, looked like we had the bit between our teeth. Scored a goal. Obviously the goal that we scored against Port Vale was a bit better in terms of the movement and everything. But it looked like Martinelli, fair play to him, he was looking to maybe let the ball roll in, and for it to be Gyökeres' goal before he sort of went for it, because most players in that situation, they just go after it straight away, don't they? But fair play to him. Looked like he wanted Gyökeres to score. But good anticipation from Martinelli. What did you think of his performance, especially him and Trossard, the fact that they both came in tonight. I thought the first half, pretty much there were times where they made the wrong decision, and then in the second half, especially Trossard, I thought second half he was really, really poor. His level just dropped. There was a situation where I think he got the ball on 3 occasions, and each time he made the wrong pass, or overhit a pass, took an extra touch. Just really, really, really poor. What was your thoughts on their performance, especially with the pressure that they've got on them with who obviously came on later on?
Yeah, I thought Martinelli's performance in the first half was pretty good, to be perfectly fair to him. That header that he missed before he scored, I mean, that was... I was sitting there with Kid too because I was doing his hair, and I was like, "Goal! Oh, he's missed it." There's one of them while they're going to him. See, it can happen. Professionals that are paid to score miss headers. It was an easy one. You know, I don't know how he missed it, to be honest. But look, he missed it. But he was popping up in good positions, more centrally, and playing from the right. No, I don't know. He seemed a bit more free.
Yeah, he was definitely the better of the two, of the two that came in.
Yeah, definitely.
It looked like he was trying to help Gyökeres out a lot as well, and I think Odegaard was doing what he could to try and find Gyökeres, and he did on a couple of occasions, to be fair. But I thought Odegaard was outstanding. Pretty much all game he ran it, was picking the ball up, as deep like he usually does, but was looking to move it, forward a lot quicker than he has done. It's almost like playing it safe and everything. But sorry, I cut into you in terms of Martinelli. But yeah, do you think it's almost like a competition now? When January comes around, are we looking to kind of offload one of them? It's almost like a race to stay, sort of thing.
I can't see us offloading either of them in January, to be honest. Martinelli's definitely not going anywhere. He's the younger of the two, so you're going to keep the younger of the two because there's still room for development and there's still room for improvement from him. And you're probably going to get, a greater sell-on fee if you keep him until the summer. Like I said, I'm not advocating for him to be sold or anything. I think in recent weeks, after the criticism that he got, he's just applied himself. We've all mentioned it. Maybe he's a bit more of a defensive winger and stuff like that. But like I said, today he felt a bit more free. He was popping up in those more central areas. Like I said, the header was an area that if he's on the left-hand side, I don't think he's in that area. So he's coming off from the right into a more central area, and he's getting more involved. That's 3 goals now in probably as many games for him, 3 or 4 games for him. So he's doing really well. I'll touch on Odegaard very slightly because in case you've got more to sort of bring in on him, he was awesome. But again, you notice how he was then playing off more of the left-hand side, which is Gyökeres' side. When we last sort of saw him, he was playing off the right-hand side, which is more Saka's sort of side. And though Saka played on the left again today when he came on, you can see where they're trying to go, okay, we know that Gyökeres likes to play off that side, so we're going to have to work on that side and then feed him from there. And, Odegaard with some of his passing today, some of his footwork was just so silky. Deserved more assists, to be perfectly fair. And absolutely phenomenal performance from our captain tonight. A proper performance from him. One that I think, again, people have wanted to see for a while. And I think it's down to that competition that, as soon as you've got a competition for your place and you can't relax and you're seeing the other guy come in and doing well, you're thinking, right, I better come in and perform. And just show everybody what I can do. And he did that tonight. Like I said, his passing was slick. His through balls were good. Everything he was doing, his footwork, he's tracking back. Like I said, operating from the left-hand side, which is a bit unusual for him because it's usually him and Saka and Timber or Ben White on that right-hand side that are all operating together. They shift that now to the left-hand side. Like I said, Martinelli felt more included. I don't know how because it went from the other side, but he wanted to get more included and then went into more central areas to be on the end of things as well. It just needed goals. It just needed finishes. It just needed more shots, to be perfectly fair. It was just trying to pass the ball around a bit too much. Probably should have not showing the respect, I think, to Olympiacos and just being okay, we can just like play our way and like mess around and stuff like that. When we should have just been a bit more direct and actually just taking shots. Because I think we had like 2 shots on target in the first half or something like that. Or like, you know, too much passing.
Yeah, it's pretty wasteful. But it's funny how the second goal, as you said, you know, how many times have we seen Odegaard and Saka link up like that on the right hand side? They're doing it on the left hand side. It's kind of what the hell's going? What happened there? What happened there? And again, it was just a shame that the only, you know, the negative was that, you know, Yorkeris didn't get a goal. You know, it's another game he's gone without a goal. A lot of, you know, effort again. Occasional some decent link up. Couple of chances, should have done better with them. You know, I felt kind of rushed them because he's not getting a hatful of chances. He's probably trying to, you know, overthink it a little bit. There's a couple of occasions where he could have taken a shot and he didn't. He took an extra touch. But I think that will come the more that he plays alongside the likes of Saka, and whether it's Eze or Odegaard, I think he'll get a lot more chances. And but yeah, I just want to touch on that because obviously we'll go back to the players, but just in regard to Yorkeris, it's amazing really, because every time he gets the ball, you can hear the anticipation in the crowd. It's like there's so many people that want this guy to do well and score goals, you know. But then there's another side of Arsenal fans, the Arsenal fan base, and I think with the whole Sesko versus Yorkeris thing that went on in the summer, it's unfortunate that you seem to have quite a lot of Arsenal fans who are kind of hate watching on him. You know, as soon as he does something or he misplaces a pass, it's like, oh, he should have done better there and stuff like that. He's got to do. You know, it's kind of weird, don't you think? Because what's done is done. It's done now. He's our player. He signed a 5-year contract. Just get behind him. And stuff, yeah, critique him and stuff like what we've done. You know, I thought we should have done a little bit better tonight. But it seems to be certain individuals, certain people, you know, in the fan base, and we know who they are because they've got quite big followings, whatever. They just seem to want to, you know, beat this guy down because he's not there. It's like you're getting a toy at Christmas, and because you haven't got it, you kind of bash it up a little bit more every chance you get. What's your thoughts on that? And is it just a sad reality now of the fan base that, or you know, of any fan base, when they get a player that they don't want, they just literally trash him, or as much as, you know, almost as bad as an opposition fan?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, and I'll go back to the even back to the Wenger days when we were stewarding and assessors might. You can't blame the player. Like, the player wanted to come. Of the 2 players, I said I was more swinging towards Yorkeris, but I would have been happy with either because we just needed a striker. But the player wanted to come, and when a player wants to come, and I said it very early on when he was first doing his interviews and stuff like that. You know, a player has to want to come to play for Arsenal, because that's an automatic green flag to say that yes, this is where I want to be. Not that, I'm not sure, and this team might be. Well, that team is after you. You go to that team, then see how you do. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got to want to come. He wanted to come. There was no other choice on the table for him. And there was talks of Man United maybe putting in the bid, and he was like, no, I don't want that. Like, it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. Yeah. It's always Arsenal. It's like Eze with us and Spurs. It was just like, hey, listen, I want you guys. So let me know what you want, innit? Like, I'm telling you now, I'm making that call because you guys have sort of said to me it might be. I'm making that call to say I want to come to you, but if there's no chance, then I'll go elsewhere. So, you know, let me know. When we make that call, it's our player, but it's not the player's fault. So if people are hating on him, and we've all seen some of the videos and stuff like that, people like chatting online, whatever, let them carry on chatting. He is here. And I go back to the Wenger days when we signed Xhaka and Xhaka wasn't performing, and people were like, oh, you know, blah, 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 and they're giving the player abuse. And I'm like, it's not his fault. The manager picks him to play.
Yeah.
So if the manager picks him to play, all you can do is support him. It's pointless like booing your players and going, like, yes, we get frustrated with missed chances and sloppy passes and stuff like that. but it's pointless booing a player and then going, "Oh, you should never play for the club again." The manager picks that player. If you're going to blame anybody, like make sure your blame is proportionate to the incident, but start at the beginning. You go, who's picking the player? It's the manager. If the manager's picking the player, then the manager sees that there's something there, and we then have to support the player and give him that protection to say, well, you're one of ours, so we're going to support you and we're going to protect you so that you can go out and perform. And they're going to respond to that. That's why it's good that when the players are actually in the stadium, the fans, especially our away fans, who are absolutely amazing, by the way, it always give the players that support. It's not a case of, oh, you know, this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. When they're out there and the players walk onto the pitch, it's right. You've got our support because you're the 11 that's been put out and you're there to fight for the shirt. So any fan that's wanting on him to not be successful is just not wanting Arsenal to be successful, and that shouldn't be part of our fan base. Yes, it's part of every club's fan base, but they're not. For me, they're not. They will always say, "Oh, but I am a real fan." You're not. How can you want your team to not do well? How can you want a player in your team to not do well? I want all our players to do well. You know, even players that you go, oh, maybe they're not good enough. I want Trossard to do well. I want him to bang 20 goals. I want Martinelli to do well. I want him to bang 20 goals. I want anybody to bang 20 goals. Like, do you know what I mean?
100%.
Because it will help us.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't get the. You can just see it. You know, there's so much of it. You know, in group chats and everything, just people just hating on this dude, and you can see he's busting the gut, and he's just trying to, you know, working his arse off, and yeah, it will all click. It will all click 100%. And then Neil, how you doing, Neil? He says it as well. Exactly, Steve. Sick of the of the stick he's getting, his quality, and just wait till he clicks. Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for the message from Ed as well. Fantastic first half. We played the way we should do every game. We blow teams away. Yorkers was immense. Really needs to score. Yeah. And Neil getting he got his prediction right. He did go for, I think, on the Purely Arsenal show. He predicted 2-0 and the first goal scorer, and he makes a change. So he's going to get his lottery ticket tonight. So well done, Neil. And old schools. How you doing, Mac? Good to see Odegaard back at his best. Plenty of chances created. Victor will do fine. He will get fitter. Score plenty. Luckily, the players don't listen to the noise. Yes, very, very good. Yeah, absolutely. And what he did for Martinelli tapping was superb. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but battled his way through. Was there anyone else that kind of stood out for you in a good way and a bad way? Obviously, David Raya's save at 1-0 was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely outstanding save. Again, just proves that he is up there. You know, you're looking at the top 3 keepers in the world. Let's say he's definitely in that top 3. Whatever way you want to put him is up to everyone's choice. But he's up there for me. He's an unbelievable save, distribution, everything. Was there anyone that sort of stood out for you? Like I said, in a good way and a kind of worrying way. I thought your boy Benny Blanco looked a bit ropey, man. He looked a bit, you know, don't know what was going on there, and he looked like he seemed to have a bit of a ding dong with Arteta on the touchline at one point. I don't know what was going on. I thought it was all going to go off, Steve, and I thought you was just going to swoop in there to sort of diffuse it, you know. But what was going on? What do you think of tonight, and who stood out for you?
Just on Sir Benny, he's not at a tan. He's not at a top up, has he? Do you know what I mean? So that's probably affected his game by like 30%. Look, he's getting back to fitness after injury, and he's going to get there. I think on the left, Lewis Gay started well, but started to fade a bit. He still does that thing where he almost nearly gives the ball away.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
draws. He was really good though. I thought he really progressed the ball really, really well. There's one drive, a run he made, and he really brought the ball forward in the second half. It was a brilliant run, and it just shows you what he could do if he was trusted to play in one of those positions, like the left 8, let's say, for example, but or even defensive midfield. But yeah, sorry, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so I was going to say, like I said, I think there's more to come from him. Like, at the end of the day, he's only a young kid. I'm not criticizing him. I just hope that he's actually learning from these things, which he will be. You know, he'll be picking up and he'll be watching the playbacks and he'll be talking through things, and he'll be seeing how some of the other players around him are doing things and stuff like that. I think we might be lucky enough to see him get a chance in the middle at some point. Maybe not this season, but definitely at some point. I think he's going to move more central. I think that's where he wants to be. I think that's where he's more comfortable, because he can affect our attacking play. I mean, even over the weekend, he was involved with the goal, and I think again tonight, I think the second goal he was involved a little bit as well. So he likes to progress. He likes to play a bit further up the pitch. I think towards the end, he did start to tire a little bit. You can see, because he hasn't had that same sort of match fitness. Yeah. And I think if Gabriel hadn't come off, then we might have seen him come off for somebody else. But that was a good performance from him. Some silly yellow cards. Luckily, he didn't get one. I know Gabriel got one for delaying the restart or whatever. I think we need to be quicker when it comes to our throw-ins. They just take too long, man. Like, Lewis Skelly was lucky tonight, but some of the times I'm there going, dude, you need to do this a lot faster. You need to move that ball a lot. You need to get that throw in a lot quicker. If you're not comfortable with doing the throw-ins, then hand it off to somebody else that is.
Yeah.
But
he's taking it from the wrong place as well. And we've got Timber's going to pick up his obligatory one as well. He would have got booked tonight if he'd have started the game, I'm sure. But what you don't want is Gabriel or someone missing an important game in the group phase because of that, and that's the kind of thing that's going to happen, because we've got obviously Atletico coming up, we've got Bayern coming up. I think Bayern is next. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got some tricky ones coming up, and you don't want any of those guys missing because of this stupid yellow they picked up, on match day 2, when the penultimate league game. We may just need to make sure we can get a win to qualify, so we can relax for the last one. We can do a massive rotation in the last game that we've got, I think, at home. But I thought White looks a bit rusty. Neil's got the answer here though. He said basically eyebrows, which is his Arteta was saying it's eyebrow trimming night, and Blanco said no, it's another tanning night. So that was the argument. And pretty much. Look, hopefully we haven't got another injury with Gabriel. I hope it was just a precaution, because I think Raya fell on him when he made a claim. I just thought in the second half it was just really sort of sloppy. Again, like you said, it could be down to lack of fitness. It could be down to obviously the lack of patterns, people playing with each other and stuff. And the fact that you're not playing against any mugs, really. Olympiacos have got some, look like they had a couple of tidy players. And as long as you keep a side like that in a game, all it takes is a free kick or a bit of a mistake, and they're back in it. And almost happened on a couple of occasions. But let's have a look at the table. It's only 2 games, but the usual suspects are there. Obviously, Bayern, who we face in a couple of games. I think it's next. If I'm wrong, I think it's. I should know. At the bottom down there. Yeah, got Bayern. Obviously, got in Real Madrid. They won yesterday. PSG won tonight, didn't they? They got a big result against Barcelona. So Atletico Madrid match day 3, and obviously Inter, who we face again as well. We play them away again further down the line. It's like obviously Madrid and PSG. This time last season, they went through the playoff rounds, didn't they? They had to kind of scrape through, didn't they? They didn't have such a good start. So it looks like we're going to, the big boys are not messing about this year. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the top 8 lands. That's why we really got to make sure we don't do anything silly. And really good to get through tonight with that second goal, man, because I just saw that they were going to equalise or something stupid like that. Yeah. So what's your thoughts then for West Ham? Because obviously made 6 changes tonight. The players that came on, Rice will start, won't he? Saka will start. It's the decision really between Odegaard and Eze. Do you take? Obviously, yeah, you got Mourinho is going to come out, and it's going to be Rice, I imagine. So it's off the back of that, is Eze going to be playing on the left hand side possibly instead of Trossard? Do you think it's going to? What do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's just going to be a straightforward decision between Odegaard or him in the middle, and then he'll go with who on the left? Would it be Trossard or Martinelli?
Yeah, your captain starts, and he's played well. If it was one of those games today where he didn't perform, then there might be question marks about him starting against West Ham. But your captain starts. So, like I said, unless there's injuries, unless he's injured or unless he's like on seriously bad form or something like that, where you just go, okay, maybe you might need like a little break or something, and your captain starts. So he comes straight in. He doesn't lose his place to Eze. I can't see him playing Eze on the left-hand side. At the moment, he looks like he likes Trossard out there. So I think he might just stick with Trossard. And then we've got Martinelli, Eze to come in off the bench. And again, we've got that strength there. He won't surprise us, sorry. I was going to say, yeah, he might surprise us. No, he won't. He won't. We know he won't. This is Arteta. He's missed the save. Cool. He won't surprise us.
I don't know. I think he will. I think he probably will stick with Odegaard because of how well he played tonight, and because it is against West Ham, and after what happened last year, I think that what they'll try and do is they'll try and do what they did, which is going to be sit in a low block, especially with Nuno, sit in a low block and try and hit us on the counter with Somerville and Bowen and stuff. So I think in that instance, I think he probably will play someone like Eze, who could just be just a little bit of a disruptor there, and try and break through that low block. So I think he might play him on the left and then play Odegaard as well. So you've kind of got a little bit more creativity there to try and break that through. Because if you've got Martinelli out there, he's not going to be able to do that. So I think he probably will go as a left wing and then play Odegaard as well. Obviously, Rice comes in for Mourinho. And then Mourinho will probably come in as a sub for Gyökeres at some point, because obviously he's played the whole 90 today. Or he plays Mourinho 9 and make everyone lose their shit. Everyone lose their heads.
Really quite a hat-trick.
Yeah. I'll probably do something like that. But yeah, so a good solid win. We move on. Obviously, we've got a big one, obviously, next against Atletico, who looked really, really good. Obviously, they slapped Real Madrid at the weekend, and obviously they've won again in the Champions League last night. So yeah, they're not messing about, and we literally need to make sure that we get something in that game. But yeah, obviously West Ham, we owe them. They've hurt us the last couple of seasons, so we want to make sure that we get something, get a proper good win over them. I didn't see the game obviously against Everton, but from what I heard, they sort of rallied a bit in the second half against Everton. Obviously, Nuno still would have been drilling them all week, obviously leading up to that and the game on Saturday. So hopefully, if Arteta goes brave again and puts a little bit more creativity in, I think we'll have enough to get through them. If he goes with, Martinelli, again, then I think we'll know. I think he's got this is what we bought him for, and that's why we've got someone like Gyökeres up there as well to score against these teams and make the difference. Neil's gone 3-0, and he's gone for Eze to score. So he feels that he's gonna start. And what are you thinking, man? You think we'll have enough to, or will it be a squeaky one?
I think he's realised, and like I said, I think he has honestly realised that we have to be a bit more braver in attack. So I think he will go quite attacking. If Martinelli were to start, then I think it will be as it was today, as in Martinelli's on the right and Saka's on the left.
Okay. Yeah, it could be.
Because he might just go, I want some pace in there. Like just some raw pace just to cause havoc. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm more thinking that he's going to come off the bench and do that. But at the same time, he might just go, I might want to start him. With playing Eze there, and if you've got Eze and Odegaard on that side, that did disrupt Saka.
Yeah.
And regardless of anything, I love Eze. Like, he's only just come into the squad and everything like that, but it was a signing that's been a perfect match. Saka's our star boy.
Yeah,
like, there's no two ways about it. Even tonight, yes, he's fortunate with the goal, but he smashed it hard. You did kind of think, was he going to put it across the face of goal for the striker? But if he does, and then nobody scores, it's why didn't he have a shot? Have a shot. I was there going, shoot, just shoot, just have a shot.
From where you're watching, you only see your careers there. You kind of watching this go through the second, and you're just thinking he's going to shoot in that situation. But on the replay, you're thinking, Yorkers was just open there, so he could have slid it across and got him his goal. But like you said, he's a star boy. He will still want to be the main man, doesn't he? He doesn't want the limelight taken away from him. He doesn't want to see that. He doesn't want to see the mask anymore. That he does. Brenny's in the chat. Hi, Brenny. Thanks for that. It was nervy. I was just building myself up for Olympiacos to equalise. I thought, it's coming, because we've seen that before with them. And City drew 2-2. They took the lead twice, City, and they got pegged back. So people saying, City are back. Well, the old City wouldn't have done that, would they? They wouldn't have chucked those leads away. And Neil saying winning the double this season. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, absolutely take that. So let's close it there. So thanks, Steve. Thanks for this impromptu chat. We'll do it for the Champions League games, the home games, I say, because obviously I've got the house to myself. It's all nice and peace and quiet. The kids are sleeping. The missus is in North London, waiting to get stood down still, probably in the cold.
Probably.
I'm in the warm. Probably have a cup of tea now and just watch some of the highlights around Europe and everything. And
don't forget to keep her side of the bed warm, Mike. So don't forget to keep her side of the bed warm. Yes. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but it's not that cold enough to get the hot water bottles out, so I won't be doing that. I'm sure we'll get a report if the first side of the bed is not warm.
yeah. But no, thanks, Steve. Really appreciate it, mate. For having a quick chat. We'll be back on Sunday night to talk about the West Ham game, and hopefully it'll be a good one. It'll be a good one to chat about, because again we owe West Ham that at the Emirates. Obviously we've dealt with them properly away from home, so it'd be nice to deal with them properly at home, and it'd be nice for Declan Rice to bag one as well after the abuse they gave him last season. And I think they've got in his head last season when we played them at the Emirates, because he got substituted quite early, I remember, and I think they were saying stuff about his other half, which was out of order. But so I know Neil's gone with Eze, but I'm going to go with Rice to score at any time on Saturday, and that would be nice. But we'll be back on Sunday night with the review and a look ahead, as we normally do. Okay, so thanks, Steve. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Hope you have a good rest of the week. And as always, up the Arsenal.